We're here today with the incomparable young dirty bastard, the one and only. How you doing today, sir?
I'm all right, you know. I'm here in the physical. I'm happy to be alive. And for those who are not here, cheers to their life. And I celebrate it every day.
I mean, you've been really active in the past few years. You've been on Growing Up Hip Hop, New York, Growing Up Hip Hop, LA, now, I think it's what's going on now. How's it feel? I mean, I feel like the last time when I saw you, your music was what you were pushing most often, right? It was most primarily it was music. But now it seems like you're in this really cool, diverse brand space. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, we've been just branding and stepping into a lot of different companies. And they've been stepping into our company. And we have a face, you know, and I'm the face of the estate, but Old Dirty Bastard, the legacy, and we're keeping that, you know, basically we're polishing things, doing a lot of polishing.
Right. What's it like being on a nationally syndicated television show that's predicated on second generation rappers?
They're not all rappers, right?
No, I guess for the first, at least New York, those are all rappers, right? I mean, they're all second generation up right here.
Hip hop children.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's what you're saying.
I think the goal for that show and the goal for everybody on the show is to get generational wealth established. Because right now, it's not like we're at the top of where we want to be at. You know, because 400 years ago or 500 years ago, we had a big setback, or even longer than that. So now we have the opportunity for generational wealth. Yeah. So that's the goal of Growing Up Hip Hop, is to get those legacies in the right mindset for the future families and the future babies. Right now we just almost there. It takes a lot to keep following the breadcrumbs of our forefathers, and we'll get there.
It feels like an interesting population of people, though. Did you feel like you had a lot in common with the other cast members?
Yeah, we're all from the same hip hop union, so I respect everybody on the show. Word. Yeah. Shout out to JoJo. He always got a handout for me. He's always there. He's like my brother now. Yeah. Shout out to Vanessa Simmons. I love you.
Flavor Flav's daughter. I never found out. Are y'all cousins?
As far as Flavor Flav, I think we are cousins, but I think we're cousins on Papa Wu's side, because Papa Wu got married to Tashika. And I believe that's how it's linked up. So in all reality, no. I don't think we're like blood cousins. Okay. Yeah. Because I would know if we blood cousins, you would be on the Jones side.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Did you guys still in contact?
My sister is in contact with her. For the record, for all my baby mamas to understand, we never had sex. It was good televised for the TV. Sometimes TV tells lies. But I told it that way too. I told it like it was. Before we even did the show, we was already active on Instagram. So we was trying to figure out who you are, who I am. And we got to the point where I don't know how that all manifested itself, how we on the show, and a few days later, talking about now we about to get together and sit down, we drinking, we learning how to mix drinks and, whatever. It was pretty, or everything was manifested.
It was all for the TV show.
Not really, because I was already planning that ahead of time. As far as the woman that was on Growing Up Hip Hop New York, I already hollered at them, on Instagram. So they basically put me in the room with them. It's like I wanted it, and I got in the room with them. They was like, okay, so what girl should you talk to? I was like, well, I talk to all of them, really. I hollered at all of them. You know what I'm saying? Well, she don't talk back. She's quiet. I already got the setup. So nothing was, for me on a TV show, on Growing Up Hip Hop New York, nothing was set up. Everything was just real. For everybody else, that's their shit. Yeah, for me, everything was just, there was one thing I didn't like on that show.
What was that?
When they brought me to, they brought me to this house, and it was like some voodoo shit going on. They had the candles, and they was like, could you hear your father? I'm like, I am my father. I don't know what you're talking about. They had my sister there. There's some weird shit going on. They try to bring him back, but not bring him back.
It's crazy. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you're the embodiment of your family. I mean, your father and your mother.
Yeah, I think I summed it up. But my mom, for my mom, just for the record, so she can hear this one day, because I tell her all the time. I think it should be passed down to me. Yeah, the next, you know what I'm talking about. That shit should be passed down. I just think I'm always on that move and that climb, and I respect all my siblings, but that should be passed down. Yeah, I just know what to do with it already, and I'm not even selfish. Like, yeah, it takes a person who's not selfish to have all of that. You have to want to give to everybody, yeah, and barely receive your rewards. It's like if I get $100 million, I'm like, I'm not gonna get anything. Like, what do I get? I wear an outfit for this camera. Like, they get to play because what they doing right now? They're playing. I'm not playing. Like all of my sisters right now is just laying down, but it gets passed on to them. It's like it's nice and all that, but it's just weird. It's not fair.
You know, I say this humbly. I feel like you've matured quite a bit since the last time I saw you. I mean, I feel like you've grown into a man and a brand at the same time, like I mentioned earlier. But I love hearing you talk about being a father. Can you just break down your family structure, how many kids you have, what the situation is? Because every time you talk about it, I'm so impressed by the responsibility that you maintain and how you describe it.
Yeah, it is a responsibility. A father, for me, myself, because everybody in my world is kind of on the iceberg slipping, because they don't know where I'm going with it yet. Everyone's waiting for money in the world money is dying. So it's like I'm at the part in my life, and everybody, I think, in America, where it's a landslide happening. So me as a father right now, it's not that easy. It's probably the hardest time. I was born in the craziest time. I think we all were. I mean, I heard it was some rough times, but I ain't about to go into all of that. But as far as a father, yeah, I think they should cut the child support shit out, because that's stupid. I already pay child support and see my child enough to know that her father exists. And she knows that because I give her so many lessons in life. She had a time when she was like dealing with people on the internet. And I told her, listen, those people could be tricky and they're just trying to get one thing from you. And they don't really need you later. And she had to go through that. She cried. She felt it hard. She got hit. She learned. I said, great, she learned at a young age, because when she get older, she don't have to go through it again. She was like, nah, it can't get me again. So being a father is great, but the child learns in its own time, And sometimes they learn too late, and then they're out there in the ghetto, like stuck and, walking through piss and just this grimy shit. But, yeah, luckily I'm around, right?
How many kids do you have?
I got 7.
7 kids. Yeah. So, I mean, how many boys do you have? How many girls?
I got 3 boys, 4 girls.
Do you approach them differently, boys versus girls?
Nah, I don't. Their energy, they approach me differently. More, they approach their moms differently, because the boys have too much energy for the moms. The boys they're already trying to make babies, like mentally. And the mom doesn't understand it. That's why they move so much. She can't understand the energy because they're the sun. And you can't control fire. But it's easy to put water in a bowl. Put fire in a bowl, you still get burnt. It's just hard for a mom right now. Yeah. It's always that problem. It's like, damn, the boy. The girl is bad because the boy is bad. He's not really bad. It's just that he's fire, Word.
And how many are they with the same? They have the same mother. Or they're mostly mothers?
There's just 3.
Yeah, because I'm in the show, you were saying something, and I was like, I've got a lot of family who actually said the same thing. Like, they like having a bunch of kids. They like getting women pregnant. They look at it as like expanding their families and sharing their seed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always impressed with them too, because they do own up and live up to that responsibility. Right. But I think there's a connotation out there that, if you have certain family structures are better than others. I don't know if that's necessarily the case if all the kids are taken care of.
The goal is to have them near you. That's the goal. And everybody started off distant, but I magnetically attracted everything that I needed. And I'm still doing it even while I'm in California. I'm just attracting as much, pure energy as I need to get me to where I gotta go. Because I know all of these building blocks is gonna help me. I'm not just doing it with random people. These people was already programmed to be here. And I do understand that. Yeah. Premeditated life.
Break it down. So you believe in premeditation, predestination.
I believe in a wave on the West Coast is gonna hit the East Coast. And that wave keeps going around the universe. It doesn't stop. And it might change because the weather changes, but that wave still has to hit the other side of the room. And that's all that happened. Yeah.
Is that similar to the butterfly effect?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Because the same wave keep coming. So they're trying to bring him back, but he might die the same way.